Hey everyone, this is James, the Ghost Set Killah, Put 'em on the Glass podcast. If the sound is off, I apologize. My last mic, not my last, my mic was it's giving me all kinds of weird issues to where I sound like a robot on the other end to the guest. This is the second show it's done it, so I'm pretty upset about that. It kind of sucks. But we're gonna get through this just like we did before with the Zoom when my show was all Zoom, and then the video challenges I faced lately. Technology is great when it works. When it doesn't work, well, that's the issue. But without further ado, who is today's guest?
I'm PC Lauinger with GT Tools.
GT Tools. How did it go ahead and let's go ahead. I got a text message from work there, but let's see. How did the GT Tools start out? How did this all come to be a part of Autoglass?
So, company was started back in 1984 by two brothers, Kerry and Dan Wanstrath. They got into windshield repair here in Durango, Colorado. More to live in Colorado than to make tools necessarily. Kind of evolved from doing windshield repair there to making tools to do it, do their jobs better there. And then evolved into selling those to a ton of different people across the world. Um, and then kind of got into auto glass replacement from there. But really, in the 80s, they were making the kind of started out as the first automated windshield repair machine. The Eliminator was one of the first products after the VP 5000, which was in kind of like a tackle box. So we've had products have evolved from then, definitely. But they were selling those through mail orders. So they'd advertise in Entrepreneur Magazine, Business Insider, kind of all the business startup magazines back in the day, in the 80s. And they'd have people send in $5,000, $6,000 checks in the mail, and they'd ship out product, and kind of went from there. Then from there, we evolved into glass scratch removal products and headlight restoration as our customers kind of wanted more options, and really focused on those three for probably close to, gosh, till the mid 90s, mid to late 90s. And then after that, went into auto glass replacement tools. So I started out as a distributor for Equalizer back in the day. Had great relationship with Eric and Ray and Gilbert over there. We were selling their tools to some of our windshield repair customers that wanted to get into the replacement side. Um, and then Carrie, one of the owners and the founders of the company, was really into kind of coming out with new tools and experimenting with things. So he wanted to make a better tool for reciprocating tools, and then kind of got into the cord game as well with one of the first cord removal tools out there, the stripper, which was a fly fishing metaphor. Um, and from there, we kind of branched off, probably 3 years in or so, broke off from Equalizer, started making our own tools, and brought on some distributors here in the States, and still continued to sell kind of all over the world as well for windshield repair and replacement tools. And then this is where we're at. Now we're here today.
Now we're here today. So that first, it started with repair. I've noticed that a lot of businesses have started with repair. Even just in the auto glass world itself, you'll see somebody, they'll get into repair and then they'll switch to replacement because they see all the benefits in replacement as well as just with repair because they're missing all those phone calls. Do you still offer a repair kit?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Is
We
it the
we
same
still have
one?
a big windshield repair business. We have probably two manual systems, and then our automated system, the Wizard, which is a kind of a remake of the Eliminator system, which was patented, gosh, 32 years ago. Patent ran out. Everybody made their own system. And then we kind of brought it back because we had so many people that wanted that type of system again. So, but yeah, we definitely, we have a ton of windshield repair customers, make a bunch of products for that. It's probably our outside of replacement. They're pretty similar as far as kind of the amount of customers we have and size of those business segments.
When you're looking at the tool market, um, do you guys have customers call you with requests for tools? Are you guys always just watching what's going on out there, what the need is? How does your develop R&D department get to making the newer tools that is going to be needed in our industry?
Well, it's kind of a combination of the two. Um, we're always listening to our customers. We're a great customer service team. Customers have like requests for new tools or modifications on tools. We kind of slot it into our R&D list to see if it makes sense to do, um, from both kind of a customer perspective, if enough people want it, and like a business perspective, if it makes sense to make those changes or new tools. And then also, we're always kind of looking at where the industry's going as far as new cars that are coming out, what kinds of tools you need on the specialty side for those as well. And if we need to, because typically your process for R&D on a product could be like 2 3 years even. So you've got to be ahead of it there when you're trying to figure out something new to bring to market. So we're doing a combination of listening to what customers need and then kind of pushing out some tools on our own as well.
The evolution of auto glass tools has always kind of amazed me because, went from the piano wire when we first had like the butyl and then the first renditions of urethane, and then we went away from that, and then now we're kind of back to that, just a different setup of a system. Like you're using cords, and it's amazing to me of like where the industry is going to end up tool wise. I'm not Are we at a point of stagnation where the tools are just kind of going to stay this way like they did when we went from cold knives to and expresses for 20 years, and now we're doing mainly cord tools? Is it going to stay there for that long time, you think?
I think that the evolution's definitely gone towards the core tools. You still have the technicians out there who want to get things done quickly, and they're using, in certain situations, using power tools to, let's say, cut out the dash and then using cord for the rest. They've got access there. Um, but I think just with the uh, tightness of the glass to the pinch weld, you've got bigger pieces of glass, smaller pieces of urethane in there. Um, Cord tools have kind of found a good place in removing glass without damaging the vehicle. I think that's kind of been a big push for those, as well as like the strain that's taken off of your body from a cord style tool versus a basically a jackhammer, right?
Yeah.
But there's always going to be some evolution of those. I think we have, to some extent, kind of hit a point where we're not making like 10x leaps on improvements to existing tools out there. It's kind of like now we're making what works for specific vehicles, what works for specific quarter glasses, what we're getting kind of more into like specialty tools for certain situations as opposed to like a universal cord tool that'll work for everything, right? Um,
Yeah. I don't know that
and
there
then
is a thing.
what was that?
I don't know there is such a thing as a universal
Well,
cord
there's
tool.
not anymore. It's like, and I mean, there never really was. It's just before there were so many less options out there, so many fewer options to pick from. So people kind of had to make it work with whatever tool they had. And now you may have like a dual spindle tool for a windshield, and you may have a center hub tool for a quarter glass, um, bigger or smaller for different situations, and kind of just listening to what people need and making those adjustments and changes, what we're
Yeah.
working through. But yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of what we do on the tool side is we'll look at what's out there also and say, okay, this tool works well. People seem to like it, but are there limitations? Are there ways we could make it better? Come out with our own version of it that solves a different problem potentially. That's a lot of times we're later to market than most companies because of that. We like to kind of see what issues people have with new products, and then making sure that we address those issues when we do come out with a new tool as well. So
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, if you're going to improve on a design, you want to make sure that you're making an improvement instead of just an exact copy of what's already out there. You want to make an actual improvement on the system that's there. I like the cutting quarter glasses out from the outside instead of like from the inside. There's a lot of challenges that arise with that, and I can't wait to see what tools will come specifically designed to be used on the body. You know, because
uh-huh.
we're just taking a glass cup and putting it on the body right now. But if they
Right.
can figure out a different way to, maybe a better way to affix it to the more curved or less curved, the squared off, or maybe, give it a pivot point to where it doesn't give as much like pull on the body to create a dent, or I don't know, the brain can dream up all kinds of crazy stuff when you sit there and let it do, let it do it. But I definitely think that that's a technique that has, caught hold and a lot of us use it. So I look forward to
Yeah, for
seeing
sure.
what tools, advance down that way. I did a show, man, it's been beginning part of this year, but it was kind of you're the first tool manufacturer who's actually, agreed to come on or whatever. But I'm looking to see throw a challenge out there to tool manufacturers of a basic toolkit that can get a person into the industry and keep it under $1,000. Is that something that's possible?
I mean, we have a toolkit like that. It's our called our basic toolkit.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's like $800.
yeah.
You get your it's basically at that point you're talking about hand tools, suction cups, a windshield stand, your specialty kind of like hand tools, cold knives. Just once you throw in kind of a cord style tool or a power tool or a caulking gun. Uh, so I think we have a Milwaukee caulking gun in that kit.
Hmm.
Uh, you throw power tools or cord tools in there, and that kind of breaks that $1,000 barrier typically, just on the cost of the product to make it. So,
Yeah, because
um,
I was thinking
but yeah,
if you did away with a cold knife and some of the other hand tools, and then built a toolkit around a cord tool, and $1,000 with today's market and the way things cost, that's asking a lot. But like, it would be nice if someone built a platform around Milwaukee, around DeWalt, around Power Push, whatever it might be, drills and everything, like an actual system that's built around a cord system. I think that to get somebody into the industry, I think that would be, and I know a lot of, I think Equalizer has an apprentice kit or a technician kit. Like, I think it is something that and Panther Pro has their new one that's actually comes in a toolbox that
uh-huh.
is all foam cutouts and everything. So they're out there, but like, to entice more technicians to get into the game or more trainees to get in the game, I think that keeping the cost down but building it around a cord tool would be kind of a cool challenge to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that's possible?
So
Yeah.
you could figure something out there. Just make sure that you've got the right. There are a lot of specialty tools from the beginning that you kind of need. I mean, cord, what are they called? Or cold knives and pull knives and all that aren't necessary if you do have a cord tool. So could pull that out. They're just not as expensive of a product. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think something as long as the price point of the cord tool is similar to like in the WRD range for your 6-inch cups and something like that, you could probably build something around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's gonna be the goal of mine by the end of the year is to put out a show with options of if you're getting into it, let's give you directions to go to get yourself solid footing, and you can get into this industry with training and a toolkit for less than 2,500 bucks is kind of what I'm shooting for. So you can go get yourself
Nice.
your training, and then, but that's all wishful thinking. That's all forward thinking on my end because I think that if we can make it a trade that is price point entry a lot more affordable than other trades, maybe we'll entice some really talented people to come into our industry that we need, people who care but just don't have the ability to jump in there. Do you guys have any kind of like pay plan, like
Yeah, we use
firms?
Approved for financing. We've got
Okay.
a few different ones. We've got some B2B lending options and some B2C lending options too. But those are all like we've got some buy now, pay later, pay in 4 installments. We try to make it as easy as we can for people to balance cash flow if they're adding new products or even just getting into the industry as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, any of these kind of industries, and auto glass is kind of a little lower barrier to entry than others
Mhm.
in general. But I mean, you're talking $5,000 to start up a business. It's not too bad as long as you're using your own vehicle. If you're setting up a van, then you add another 50 to 75 on top of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lower entry point into an industry, I agree with you there, which is what helped me get into this business is that the buy-in wasn't that expensive back then, you didn't have trainings really. Excuse me, you rode with a guy, and then I bought all my tools off of a technician that was leaving the industry, so, like, I ended up with a lot of specialty tools without even really paying a high price point, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think that,
Well, I think that's why a lot of people start in windshield repair too. It's an even lower price point and skill point kind of to start off
mhm,
when you're first getting into it. It's kind of an easy add-on, doesn't take too long to do. You're you can do a bunch of them in a day. And then from there you can kind of build your customer base, build your fleet accounts, and then add on the replacement to that. We have a lot of people that do that. So
yeah, and that's, that's a good option to have. um, just start into the repair, get your foot in the door, build up some revenue, build up a base point, and then work into replacements because of the skill set is a lot more varied to be a replacement tech. I'll tell you what, though, some of those repair techs, holy shit, are they good? Oh my god, they got a skill set like no other. It's like, man, I can't even see that when you're done. Coming from a guy that
yeah, right.
sucks at repairs, I mean, I suck at repairs. Like I truly do. I just there, if you were going on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you can't see it, 1 being it doesn't change, I'm in the 7 to 8 range most of the time, but there are people out there that are like 9s and 10s all day long, and I'm like, "How?" Like, how? It takes a different skill set, but it's definitely a skill for sure to be able to be really good at those. I love watching the competitions of the repair techs because it's like you walk out there and you're like, "Oh my god, you can't even see it, man. Like, it's gone. Like, completely just gone." Um,
Yeah, and it takes time too. Like a lot of these windshield repair guys, we noticed it too, is like our older customers been doing this since the 80s and they're still doing it. It's like you get 40, 50 years of experience and you can you can do some pretty good work for sure.
Yeah, and hopefully
At
they're
that point,
passing
kind of
that.
like a master craftsman almost.
Yes, and hopefully they're using that master craftsman and passing it on to the next generation, they don't die with that information. I can only hope that that's what their goal is to pass it on to, the next generation instead of hoarding the information and just kinda passing on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, ugh, so,
Yeah, we're
uh
seeing that too. Is like the older kind of original customer base and the original windshield repair and replacement guys are getting to retirement age and moving on to the next group for sure.
yeah,
A
I
lot of
think
these guys have the it's interesting because they're getting into ADOS recalibrations, and a lot of the younger guys that are out there have that kind of computer knowledge as well, and they can get into their tablets and do these calibrations quickly and add them on.
I am seeing that with the next generation that's coming up. Obviously, they've had a cell phone in their hand since they were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. They understand a little bit more how to access certain things. They might not be, super. They might not be a programmer, but it's a little easier than say my generation, where if something doesn't happen right now, we're just like, why aren't you working? Obviously, you've seen that with the microphone situation that we had going on. I tried to figure it out when we had our pre-call, thought I had it, didn't have it. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but, I don't know if some damaged the machine, I'm hoping not. So hopefully if I can reset everything and get it up and going, who knows? We'll see. I might actually call you back since you're the one that had the issues with it, be like, "Is this better?" Once I get it fixed to see what's up, but you're
Yeah,
right,
feel free.
that next generation they're ready to take on, and, I'm just hoping that because of our generation didn't have all the training and have all the knowledge passing. We had to learn school of hard knocks that we're making the next auto glass generation do the same thing. It's like, no, no, let them learn
Gotcha.
from us. Let them learn from
Yeah,
us. Our mistake.
little jaded.
Yes, a little jaded, a little jaded. Speaking of ADOS, do you guys have any plans for a stand or anything coming out?
No, so we sell Autel products mostly, um, and they do a great job on their R&D coming out with new tools and stuff. And I think for us, we focus more on the products we make here than the ADOS products as far as kind of coming out with a stand or anything like that. We're we're happy, at least for now, to just support our customers with the availability of those ADOS products. Work with kind of the industry leaders on the new tools that they come out with and make sure we're able to sell and support those as well.
Yeah, that's going to be important. I think that that's the next leap. It's obviously the leap that saved our industry a little bit. Went from where a standard windshield, now we're doing ADAS calibrations and all kinds of functionality on the glass. But I think you're right. I think the actual incremental removal process is going to slow down, like with the cord tools and different designs. But that ADAS, I mean, the mobile situation is such a huge deal. You see stores moving more brick and mortar because of the stand and the setup, and then you see the bigger companies out there looking to source a mobile stand setup. I've seen a couple crazy, crazy mobile stand setups that are, some of them are good, some of them are bad, but I've seen some of them that are in R&D lately, and I'm just like, I mean, okay, we'll see how this goes. So much growing pains left to do.
The industry is so big on the ADOS side, of the opportunity is so big there. It's kind of a totally different price point from what auto glass kind of technicians and tool manufacturers and everything are used to in the past. There's definitely openings for like the car cows and the portable stands out there for people that come out with something. Just the kind of the OEM support on that is it's tough for us to kind of go with a product like that as well when you're combining a stand and a tablet from somebody else. We're not robotics experts, not really computer programmers. We make tools. Kind of leave that to those experts that have been doing it for 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah, like I said, that's going to be that's still the wild west of our industry because of the way how fast everything's changing and what goes into making those products and coming out. And the aftermarket tool company in that situation, they are, especially ones that make tablets, they've got an uphill battle because they've
Yeah,
got to
for
rely on getting information, OE information, and figuring out, they're constantly changing gateways and constantly changing ways to get into the systems. And like they've got a headache. Realistically, they've got a headache because not only do they have to design their product and program around OE software, but then they have customers who are like, "Hey, man, why can't I program this? Why can't I calibrate this vehicle? You don't have the software yet. What's wrong with you?" Kind of. Why do I got to pay for these coins now to get into the system? I didn't have to last year. Like all the things that are changing with that is, yeah,
uh-huh.
they've got a huge burden. I think so. Just be happy
Oh
that there
yeah, I
are.
mean on the software and the hardware side too. It's like you have to be able to get these targets made too that may be in R&D with the OE manufacturers, and then finally they come out and you're kind of scrambling to get there. And then the OE manufacturers are taking, I don't know, months to get software out that's non-OE for these aftermarket systems, and people definitely have to wait.
Yeah, yeah. It's a uh, it's a game that I think will change. I don't know if it'll change it, but it's definitely going to reinforce the Right to Repair Act, I think. Because at what point will they stop a aftermarket or owner from getting into their system completely and
Uh-huh.
changing something in there integrity like that they can't undo or something. I'm not sure, but that's definitely gonna be something that comes in the future, I would say. That right to repair thing is
Well, it
it's a
took a
tricky one.
long time for cell phones too, right? It's like, I mean, we've been 15, 20 years until they got to kind of the right to repair on that kind of I it when the market hits a certain kind of maturity, I guess,
Mhm.
you have enough people who are complaining about it that have to be able to do that themselves as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that, a lot of legalities and different things that I'll let them dance around. When they tell me I can work on a car, I will. Or they'll put out a thing that says, "Okay, now you have to pay $15 per calibration on top of your yearly subscription to your, tool manufacturer because you have to have this token to get into our system." And it's like, "Okay, thanks, Audi. Thanks, BMW," "Thanks, German engineering,"
well, with the
uh,
ADAS stuff too, and just automotive in general, like it's a little different from a cell phone where you've got some bigger safety standards. You've got lives that are at risk, right? As opposed to just somebody getting
data.
into
Yeah,
privacy, right?
yeah,
A
someone's
little
data
bigger
point.
game at that point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, for sure. Well, um, I know I've taken up a lot of your time the last couple days. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we, wrap up here?
Um, yeah, I mean, just outside of auto glass, what do you like to do?
Oh, oh shit, there's a lot of things I like to do. I like to, obviously, as you can see, I'm a cyclist. I like to cycle. I just recently got back into motocross after 16 years off. I bought another bike. I'm refurbishing that. I was kicked around the idea of getting a new one, and it's like, nah, I enjoy working on things too much. So I got me another bike to. I'm retro styling it. It's not a new bike by any stretch of the imagination, but uh, I'm rebuilding it, and then I'm going to retro it to like because when I was growing up, I always wanted a 1991 KX 125, mainly a Suzuki guy, but I always wanted that when I was like in school and stuff before I even got a bike. So I decided I was going to go that route and make it look like that. So, like hiking, we love hiking. We hike a lot, we backpack a lot, we camp a lot. Love hip hop music, as you can see, Wu Tang. So that's really pretty much what I like doing. What you into?
Oh, we got little kids, but we're in Durango, Colorado, so mountain bike, hike, backpack, ski, fly fish.
Yeah, I seen
Kind of
the poster back there. It's pretty dope.
yeah, it's from some of our mountains up here in the San Juans, which is cool. But we're kind of in a little outdoor playground here, which is nice.
It
So
definitely
most of
sounds
our
like that. Yeah, it sounds like Denver or not Denver, like Colorado period is like just a wonderland for the outdoors.
yeah, it's I mean it's nice. Like we could be in Denver or in a big metropolitan city as a manufacturer and probably have a lot more access to people, to better shipping rates, less expensive real estate, uh, kind of all that. But I know Carrie and Dan made the choice a long time ago to be here for the outdoors and to be able to make a living while you do it. So that's a lot of our employees are that way too, where they come here for the mountains and then they want to kind of find a job at that point.
Yeah, yeah. I like I said, we're big outdoors people as well. Definitely love the whole outdoorsy feel. That mountain biking. I spent some time with Jason Horn down in Texas doing some mountain biking. That was pretty crazy. Some downhill stuff that was like, oh my goodness, that dude is next level. He is next level. Not even it was a lot of fun though. Spent some time with him mountain bike because I never really mountain biked before that.
Uh
So
huh.
I bought a mountain bike and then I actually borrowed his when we went down there. But I still don't do a bunch of mountain biking. I'd rather ride on the roads in, my underwear. This lycra. I always have that on. But yeah, and obviously I enjoy podcasting. Wanted to do a podcast for years, and then after winning Autoglass Week, my friend Bradley ate a lot. He pushed me into doing it, and then my other friend Damon Badnow, he came on the show once, and then he's kind of just helped support me, like as far as giving me encouragement and everything to help me progress. And
Uh-huh.
The show has just kinda grown into what it is now, and hopefully it keeps growing, until it stops being fun, and once it stops being fun, I'm gonna quit doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't wanna keep doing it, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, but I enjoy having the conversations and trying to better the industry. That's my main focus is trying to bring everybody together and have a platform to talk and unbiased. Just who cares? Just talk about your product. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like just try to stay as neutral as possible when it comes to opinions because why would you close your mind off to something that could potentially help you? So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so that's pretty much what I like to do, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got young kids too, so they take up most of our time.
Yeah, my kids are
But it
adults. My kids are all adults. Mhm. Yeah, my son's getting married. He's 29. He's getting married this upcoming Friday. My daughter, she's 25, 26 now. She got married, and then my youngest is going to be 21 in uh, December. And then I have a granddaughter that's 2.5.
congrats.
Yeah, thanks,
Bet
man.
that's fun. We've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, so 2 boys are ball of
Yeah,
fun for sure.
yeah. You wait. I had brothers. Let me. You wait. You wait. You did the fights. The fights. Oh, the fights we used.
They're
But
already
man,
starting.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for my parents, man. Me and my brothers, we loved each other and nobody else could talk shit on them, but man, did we fucking fight all the time. Duke it out in the front yard, that was always the solution. I don't know if you had brothers or sisters or if you had siblings, but I had
Yeah, I
2.
had 2 younger brothers, so
Yeah, I
definitely
was the
feel
I
that.
was the I was the oldest as well, man. Yeah, yeah.
Always get in trouble. They never got in trouble.
Uh Yeah, yeah, I mean, I was always daring doing more things to get in trouble than they were. My youngest brother, though, there's 10 years between us, so I really didn't fuck with him too much, but my middle brother, he was always, like, a real pretty boy in school. So, like, when he would make me mad before we'd go to school, I would, like, hold him down and give him a rug burn, like, across his forehead to where he had to go to school with a rug burn. I was an asshole. No longer like that, but man, we had some woof, boy, it was so fun. Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't we all kinda got in trouble equally. Like, I just yeah, they tried to blame me for some stuff, but they knew a little bit too much if they blamed me too much that once the parents walked away, they were getting in trouble even more.
Yeah, I think my parents did a pretty good job. We didn't really get in trouble that much. We were all kinda in too many sports and activities to really have time for trouble, so
Yeah, that's one thing sports will do for you because we played, a lot of football growing up and then switched from football to motocross, and, yeah, sports will keep you when you have that decision whether to do something stupid or not, it's like, "Oh, I gotta play Friday," or, "Oh, I got a game," "I got a race this
Mhm.
weekend," it's like, I don't know I'm gonna do that because I got a race this weekend, so, yeah. Sports definitely keep you and it builds a team mindset, like, to where once you get into the workforce I think that's what's discounted most about sports. So, sports right now is like focused on you need to be the best so you can get that $1,000,000 contract or but there's so much to be learned in that little bit of teamwork that helps you so much when you go into the workforce to
Yeah,
learn how to rely on your teammates, to learn how to make the best of a situation, even though it sucks because of the fact that you're a team. It's not just one person. I don't know. I think there's so much that's getting lost in the nonsense now in sports. The fame of
yeah.
sports has
I
kind of
think
ruined it.
discipline, teaches you teamwork. There's a ton of good stuff you learn from sports, and just, like, not specializing that athleticism kinda you play a bunch of different things, you get good at different things, then later in life, you can kinda do whatever. You're not gonna
Hmm.
play probably not gonna play the same sport for your whole life, right? So, this whole, like, parents pushing their kids into specializing in sports at, like, age 6 is it's crazy to me, like
Yeah, it is crazy because you're right. If you can get that varied, even if you're not good at everything, having the experience at everything, even if you're not the best athlete on your school team,
yeah,
the discipline, the teamwork, the learning how to learn. I mean,
yep,
because physicality is huge when it comes to learning something new. To
uh-huh,
where if you have that sports mentality, I don't know. I think that there's a lot to be gain from sports, but you're right. You push them into a specialty at like 5 or 6 years old, and then they get burnout because burnout happens to everyone, and then they don't want to play, and then they're focused on don't want to let their parents down. There's a whole bunch of drama that comes from it, but there's so much good in team sports. So much good in team sports, especially for becoming a great adult. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, for sure. Oh man, well, it's been a great conversation. It kind of took a different turn than what I thought it was going to, but I'm glad it did. This is good. Maybe some of our listeners will get something from that and be like, hey, maybe I'm not going to push my kid into playing that sport.
Well, I mean,
But
if they wanna do it, go for it. It's like, for us, we wanna make sure that, like, our family time with our kids is more important than traveling 4 hours every weekend to go play travel baseball or something, like,
yeah, we
playing
did
every
that.
day. We wanna make sure we got some downtime with them to just be, right?
Yeah, yeah, we did the travel ball thing for a while, but the kids played every sport like that they could. Everything they wanted to play, we allowed them to try it. Um, but we did do the travel basketball and travel baseball, and let me tell you, you lose a lot of family time doing that. You
Yeah.
lose a lot of family time doing that. I mean, in our situation with our 2 oldest, our oldest son played baseball in college, but he didn't obviously play past that, but it did help with that, but, you know, it just it took a lot of us because we had to split because there was 3 kids, so, like, there's 2 of us and 3 kids, so you'd have to split and trade duties and be this practice for so long and this practice for so long, and yeah, it makes it a little tough when they're kids, but that's right. Make sure you're spending as much time as you can with them. We always try to take a couple vacations a year for that reason. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough when they're trying to be professional athletes. Yeah,
Right?
come from someone. Well, and I tried to be a pro athlete myself, and it just didn't pan out. There's a skill gap that people just don't understand. That it's I don't know. I don't know. Besides that,
That,
all
like,
right,
1%, right?
the 1%. I thought I was going to be in the 1%, and tried super hard for 4 years, and just realized, hey, my talent's just not there. So let's move on to something else. A couple injuries will make you feel real quick about changing what you do. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do it again, not just for enjoyment now. I don't have to worry about going fast. Yeah, I don't have to worry about going fast. That was the problem last time. Was that every time I went to ride, I had to go faster. Ah, that gets tiring. But all right, GT Tools, give us some information where people can find you, and we'll get this out there for the people as quickly as we can.
Yeah, you guys can call us, go to our website, gtglass.com, or buy our products through there, through any of our distributors. We've got a bunch of distributors across the US and in probably 50 countries across the world. So um, all of our tools are pretty much the same price wherever you want to get them, which is nice. So you it's more convenience for our customers than necessarily kind of a price war trying to find the least expensive version, right?
Hmm. What
But
about
yeah, we've got
Facebook?
a couple new products. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen like our super grip cups with the super pumps that can kind of go into any of those bigger bore cups.
Hmm.
And then we've got probably seen a little bit of this. This is like our new prototype cord tool with some locking spindles and a few other kind of cool features that you got in there. And this little brick here is our
Is your
mini.
power. So will the
So,
mini super pump fit into the other pumps as well, the other little pumps as well?
so this will basically replace your little
So the little pump that you had right there, it'll go into like the small ones like the Delta bridge? Will it go into
Yeah,
there?
any of those bridges or tools that have like little mini plastic pumps that are pretty ubiquitous out there. You got like your
Mhm,
WRD cups, the BAT, the Aegis cups. I mean, there's a lot of other products out there too that aren't even in our industry that use these kinds of pumps.
mhm.
Yeah, so any of those, you basically just pop out the other pump and put in this one.
Uh, I see it looks like it has a nozzle on the end of it. Is that the same? So
Yeah, same
okay,
barb, same
okay,
barb as the other assemblies, and I mean, you got the same diameter and everything. This shelf is kind of the same there. We
okay.
took kind of the end of it and just took out the plastic pump and designed around it. So
Okay. Well, I know that those are definitely gonna be high sellers. Those cups are high sellers. Jay Leahy, a friend of mine out in Washington, loves those cups. He swears by your pumps. Him and I had a discussion about the lock system on your cutout tool there.
Yeah.
Okay, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of ratcheting systems, ratchets where that flip just quits going. But have you abused them enough to where they don't stop?
We send our tools to Jay when we're ready for somebody to try breaking them.
Yep.
So he's been playing around with that for a long time and hasn't broken it yet. So as far as the
Okay,
locks go.
okay.
But we've been making the ratcheting style systems for a long time, and kind of integrating this lock was it felt like a good thing to do as far as being able to free spool a tool versus not losing your progress when you're going, right?
Mhm.
Um, we'll see when it comes out for sure. I mean, we've
Yeah.
got these kinds of tools, like I said before, it's like a 2 to 3 year process usually. We want to make sure that they're out there for a long time with technicians that so that they work when we do come to market.
Yeah, you're getting most of your issues out of the way as opposed to throwing it out there and then having the customer base be your testing team and get back to you with what's wrong so you can fix it. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, that makes sense. That's a good way to do it, a very good way to do it.
I mean, there's definitely two different schools of thought, right? You want to Some people want to come out with like minimum viable product, get it out there, get a ton of people using it. But at that point, people are paying for it. So you end up with potentially more frustrated customers if you have an incomplete product that doesn't work. And we'd rather
Yeah.
kind of spend the time up front and get something that works and then come to market with it a little later, potentially.
Yeah, we've all had that tool that we bought that was supposed to work and it didn't work like it was supposed to, so you shelf it. And you don't even give it a second chance. You just shelf it like, okay, I'm not buying from them anymore because it's not I'm not definitely not doing that. Cause yeah,
Yeah, you want to keep that trust for sure with your customers.
yeah, those tools, I'm looking forward to seeing them. Now, will you have any on display at Auto Glass Week? I know you guys aren't coming to Auto Glass Week, but will anybody have them on display?
Uh, the mini super pumps. So most of this stuff's going to be displayed at SEMA. We go
SEMA.
to SEMA every year,
Yeah.
and we'll have those. We'll have probably our cord tool for people to check out. Maybe a couple other new tools we've been working on too at
Okay.
SEMA, and then those are kind of prepped for like launch at the beginning of next year. So
Okay. In January. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So will you have a pre-order system coming in December?
Sometimes we do. Usually we once we're like in production on a tool and we're like building stuff here, at that point we'll put stuff on pre-order. So when we have a kind of a timeline on when we're actually gonna have stuff on the shelf. But yeah, we usually do.
Good. But yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, that would be, get some noise out there, get those pictures out there, and because what sparked our conversation was the post that was put out about that cord tool, and I'm just like, what about the locks? Because the locks don't look like they're super strong, and then you and I started talking, so that's what led to this show. Yeah, I can't wait to see it in person. Obviously, I'm real big on buying the new cord tools because I got a ton of them. I really like the cord tools, so I'll probably pick one up
Yeah.
just to see. It definitely doesn't look like there'll be too much of a learning curve because it's
It's similar to your other dual spindle tools
mhm,
out there. I mean,
yeah.
we've got the Kong that cuts in two directions at once, but people definitely like the ability to kind of have more control with using one versus the other.
The Kong that cuts in two directions at once was so freaking confusing to me when I first got that damn tool. Oh my goodness. I don't know what it was, but I could not. I was like, now I can use it. I've spent the time to learn, but man, at first I was just like had my head wrapped around it. I was like, what in the is going on? Like I gotta protect here, gotta protect here. This is coming like it was so much coming at me. My brain just kind of locked up. And I could use it now, but yeah. Yeah, the Kong tool, that was pretty innovative for, first.
Yeah, that's probably, I think that was the second or third that we had because we had the stripper first, then the shortcut, which is the Kong with one pulley,
Mhm.
then the Kong after that. Um, and yeah, it's definitely got a kind of a steeper learning curve because you're having to manage two lines at once.
Yeah. Yeah, that
while you're cutting out, but
yeah, that was what shut my brain down. Now I will say that orange cone cord you have, um,
yeah.
holy shit! If you want to cut something out and you don't want your line to break, that's what you use. It is like super. It's like almost. It's so thick. Like I couldn't use it on a few things because it's too thick to get under there and it breaks. The part. But RVs, man, I use that stuff on RVs, like, I'm digging a couple different lines now, like, obviously, I've always been a Swift's been okay, I've always been a P8 guy, now I'm using the stuff that's out there from Frolic It Out, I really like their line, it's pretty cool, but when you
Oh,
just absolutely have to get through it, that fucking orange cone line is
yeah.
whoa.
The gorilla cord, right?
Yes, yep, the Gorilla Cord, yes, the orange Gorilla Cord. Yeah, oh my goodness, that was woof. I still have some of that, like, I don't install every day anymore, but from doing as many RVs as I did a year, I did about 60 RVs a year. So I always had plenty of that stuff because it was
Mhm.
just man, it definitely was good for the RVs, I will say that. Probably worked well on semis too, but I never used it on semis, but definitely RVs, I kept a ton of that stuff for that because it just didn't break. Like,
Yeah, it's great.
realistically,
It's great for those when you got more of a gap there to get through and thicker, harder urethanes. When you got softer stuff or you need a thinner line, we've got that our green zip line that works really well for that.
yeah, the zip line's not bad, not when I was if given the choice, I leaned up to the P6 through 8 instead of the zip line, but I did have some zip line. It just it's a good line, it's thin, I just for me, just the feel and the way that I could feel the line, the P8 and the P6 worked better for me than the zip line. I mean, obviously, you have no problem selling it. I just yeah, I just personal preference for that for sure for me because
Well, and there's so many lines out there too. It's like it's almost the same as with cords. Like some people like a line that might have more stretch to it. Some
mhm,
people like something that doesn't have as much of that creep.
mhm,
Some people like something that's thick that's never going to break, or some people like to use a really thin line where they can feel kind of everything, right?
yeah, yep.
Um, it's kind of that evolution of more personalized products than just a one size fits all, right?
Absolutely, that's a good point. Like, when it comes to lines and it comes to picking out, I do highly suggest trying a bunch of different ones because you will find one that you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is the" and then you'll find some, you're like, "Oh, this isn't any good," and then you talk to another person like, "Oh, that's the best line in the world, like, that is the greatest thing since sliced bread," and it's like, "I can't get used, I can't feel it," but yeah. Yeah, the zip line, I do have some of it still, I think, somewhere, but I just never did really never jived with me like, the Gorilla Cord did for the RVs, like, if given the choice, I won't use anything but the Gorilla Cord on the thicker RV stuff. Yeah, when I have the choice for anything else, it is definitely I don't know, man, I've been liking that cord that Frog It Out puts out lately, I've been really digging on it. It's got a different shape to it, and it's definitely you can feel everything. When you're listening to it and the sound of it, you can tell where you're at, where it's thick, where it's thin, and anyways, beside that, yeah, I really like that stuff. But thank you for being on the show. I'm sorry about
No
jumping off
problem.
on there. Things had me
Oh, no
crazy.
worries.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. This has not been a very smooth process for us, like it usually is. So I apologize about that. Thanks for being such a great sport. GT Tools, get out there, get yourself some GT Tools. They've got Facebook posts? There's a certain Facebook they can get a hold of you, but, like, is there a GT Tools Facebook site?
We post in all the kind of social media groups on Facebook. We've got our own Facebook page as well.
Yep.
But yeah, you
Um,
can reach out to us anywhere. Email,
okay,
phone, through our distributors, however you want to contact us.
perfect. Look out for the, new tools coming out from them, looking more towards the first of the year. Um, I may call you guys again to lean in on you if my idea ever comes to fruition to try to put together a starter kit for
Yeah,
technicians to get some traction with that. But yeah, GT Tools, PC, it's been great. Been a great conversation. I thank you for your time. Don't jump off yet
you too,
because we got
James.
to let everything upload. Is there anything you want to say before we jump off?
I think that's it.
All
You guys
right.
have a great day.